there. Welcome. Take your coat. Okay, thank you. Well, good evening. I'm Hugh Hefner, your host. This is Barbie Benton. This is Connie Kresge, our Playmate of the Year. And you arrived just in time, because the Ike and Tina Turner Review are about to start wailing in the rumpus room. Come on in and join us. It's a pleasure to welcome a longtime friend, Louis Nye, to the party. And Louis, it's great to see you again, and you're looking very trim. I think haven't you?
Oh, thank you. It's nice. It's nice to see you, yeah.
It's always a pleasure, but you look like you've lost a little weight. Are you doing a diet thing, or?
No, probably not. I don't think I've lost any weight. I love food too much, Chef.
So
I must have gained maybe, let's say, 15 pounds since you've seen me last. But you can't tell. You know why you can't tell?
Why is that, Louis?
Because I'm wearing a rubber suit.
It works well, it is.
Yeah, it's put out by Freddie Rubbo.
They've got all of these crazy diets now. Barbie's on on a diet, and I think I may try the drinking man's diet. That sounds like the best kind of thing. But they've got a diet now where they, calories don't count, and they're doing a thing now where you supposedly you can eat ice cream and candy and all kinds of cake and everything, and still stay on a diet.
Still be perfectly proportioned, but who wants to be perfectly proportioned, 900-pound man? Listen, can I tell you the truth? I drink to it. I'm against diets.
Here.
I'll drink it.
Oh, yes.
Now, here, friends. I may write a book for people who hate dieting, you know?
I'll buy it.
I'll call it Love's Nayet. It's a
Not
book,
yet.
yeah, it's a book of forgiveness.
We need more of that in the world.
Yeah, that's a contradiction for no diet. A contraction, rather, for no diet.
No diet.
The subtitle is Eat, Eat, Eat. I understand. Listen, Hef, I would like to ask at this time, hello.
I thought you were going to ask that. Yeah.
Shouldn't people be fat and guilty instead of thin and miserable?
I think so.
Yeah, another thing, Hep, if I may say, is I'm against diet pills. I tried them, and they didn't work. I had one before each meal. That's, let's see, that's 10 a day.
That's not the way to diet, Lou.
But, man, I've got a great thing. I'm going to write it up in a magazine article. Maybe you could put it in Playboy. Oh, goody two-shoes. Because this thing combines a sex urge with a food urge.
Oh.
You cure both at once.
I don't
It's
like
called...
that part.
Oh, you don't? Oh, silly boy. You know what it's called? It's called Take a Head of Lettuce to Bed. Oh, I almost forgot my present.
Yes, well, all this conversation is making me hungry.
It is?
Yes,
This is my most treasured possession. It's called The Weak Man's Bookie.
diet book.
Yeah, it was willed to me by King Farouk. You can get hungry at 9 and just open a book and you'll feel better. You just groove with it. All right, props.
Beats a head of lettuce, yes. Well, I'll tell you, all this makes me feel, you see how many people are taking the diet serious around here. They're all reaching for anything they can get. Well, would you like a little something to eat? Maybe we can have the kitchen whip up something
Yes,
for us.
I would like something. May I make a phone call? Music?
Can we have a little music for his phone call, please?
Hello, Sam's Delicatessen.
Send up an order of love.
That's not bad.
A girl of 18, make sure that she's lean. A side order stars up above. I'll put the phone down. And listen, Sam's Delicatessen. See if the moonbeams are fresh. Send a girl who'll make my heart quicken. And half a boiled chicken. I swear by each knish up above that I'll love that order of love.
Well, our gypsy violinist on that number doesn't usually play with so much vibrato. As a matter of fact, he's from Nashville, Tennessee. He's going to swing a Cajun fiddle for us now, Doug Kershaw.
Diggy diggy line, diggy diggy do, fell in love at the piano door. The pop was stole in the coffee show, but diggy diggy line, diggy diggy low, diggy diggy line, diggy diggy low. Everyone knew he was her own. Nobody else could ever show so much love for diggy diggy low. Now. a kiss with every chance. Show her love with every glance. Diggy, diggy, la, diggy, diggy, lo. Everyone knew he was her beau. Nobody else could ever show so much love for Diggy, diggy, lo.
Doug, I understand that you not only play Cajun fiddle, but you are a Cajun.
Yes, I am Cajun. Our people, the Cajun people, I should say, are from Louisiana. That's where I was born.
You came from Louisiana originally. Aren't the Cajuns originally from up further north?
Yes, they are. They're originally 6 generations back, come from Normandy into Acadia, which is now Nova Scotia.
And then, what, your family came on down from there?
Yeah, through the years, exiled from English rule, yeah. All along the eastern seaboard, you'll find French people. And I got down to the tip end of Louisiana, you can't go anymore. Sort of like French kissing an alligator.
Well, I understand the Cajun music, your own, your own music is now on the way to the moon.
Yes, it is. It really is. I tell you what happened. Me?
Hold that for him, Charlie.
Would you hold that? Thank you. The other morning I was watching television, the news, when the first live broadcast from Apollo 12, okay? And they were, the guy was, Conrad Jess, was playing his favorite music, so I listened to San Antonio Rose. Pretty soon I hear Doug Kershaw singing Louisiana Manhattan.
From the moon.
History. I'd have settled for Louisiana history.
Well, I think that it might be an appropriate cue for you to do Louisiana Man here and now.
Long hair music. Can't write a hit joke every time.
Well, at birth, my mom and papa called her little boy Ned and raised him on the banks of a riverbed. A houseboat tied to a big tall tree, a home for my papa and my mama and me. The clock strikes 3 and papa jumps to his feet. Already mama's cooking papa something to eat. At 1:30, papa, he's ready to go. He jumps in his Bureau, head down the bayou. He's got fishing lines strung across the Louisiana River. Gotta catch a big fish for us to eat. Setting traps in the swamps, catching anything he can. Gotta make a living, he's a Louisiana man. Gotta make a living, he's a Louisiana man. Muskrat hides hanging by the dozen. They make the muskrats good. Got 'em out drying in the hot, hot sun. Tomorrow papa's gonna turn 'em into mud. Yeah. Well, they call my mama Rita and my daddy Jack. The little baby brother on the floor, that's Mac. And Fred and Lynn are the family
relaxing here in the library with two of the most interesting people in show business today, Rex Reed and Patty Duke. And I don't think either one of them need much introduction, but Rex, as you know, is one of the most controversial, interesting, and important, I think, critics of the day, who very recently has gotten involved in the other side of the business, starring in Myra Breckenridge. And I'd like to start things off here by reading a little excerpt from Rex's new book, Conversations in the Raw, which is from his interview with Patty Duke, where Rex says...
Okay, Rex.
She does come on like a pint-sized Jimmy Cagney.
Nice.
But
That's
stick
nice.
around. But
That's
stick around,
nice.
you can hear the heartbeats. It's the only way people will listen. When she was a kid, all her interviews were conducted on sheets of mimeographed paper with stock answers. If anyone asked how it felt to be a child star, she would turn to answer number 40. Now, I suspect, knowing how Rex works, that when Rex interviewed you, you probably...
Now she writes all the questions.
And the answer. Well, it's interesting to have both of you here this evening at the same time, because Patty has been in the business since, how old were you when you first...
7.
7 years old.
It'll be
Really,
16
a
years,
lifetime.
the end of this week.
Incredible. And Rex, of course, established himself as a critic and now finds himself on the other side of the camera. And what is that like? Yeah. Are you wondering about the reviews of the film?
Well,
Personal
mine
reviews?
will be, I'm wondering what mine's going to be.
That's what I meant.
Smashing. Smashing.
Everybody gets a...
I'm thinking of doing a whole review and only talking about myself.
Well, there've been a lot of rumors that, that one of the motivations in getting into this thing was the chance to really do a review, possibly a book about Myra Breckenridge, and you think there may be a book in it?
Oh, there's a book in it. I don't know whether I'm going to write it or not. No, there's a book in it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm privy to such confidential information about the picture that it might be a little bit like blowing the whistle on everybody. What are you laughing at?
Oh. That's never been one of his problems in the past.
I was never the subject before, though.
Yes?
Right.
You think it may be too self-revealing?
Oh, I'll tell anything about me, you know. I mean, that's the biggest problem they have with the whole movie is that I have such a big mouth that I tell everything. But, I'm just kind of worried about telling it about everybody else, you know.
Well, how did the other performers in the film feel about that, knowing, this double life that you live?
Just about every other day, Raquel Welch makes some kind of marvelous comment on the set, and then she always turns to me and says, "Don't print that the book." I might do a book, though.
I think it's going to be very difficult for you not to do one.
I think everybody's expecting one at this point.
Yes.
But the movie itself has been absolute chaos. I mean, it's...
Well, if you were going to pick one film, for this time, you really pick...
I guess so, because this movie kind of represents the last death rattle
of the old Hollywood.
I mean, the millions of dollars that are being pumped into this thing. One afternoon, we have a rather unusual director, to say the least, and he came to the set one day and says, "I don't feel like shooting anything today. I think I'm just going to shoot food." So they went out and they bought $2,000 worth of food for him to show on camera, and that's all we did that day. There are many, many days when one day I arrived on the set and I was told on the call sheet to report to stage 8, and I walked into stage 8 and the whole place was completely empty except for 2 extras who were sitting there, and one of the things I've learned in Hollywood is that extras are not called extras, they're called atmosphere. So, so the 2 atmospheres were sitting there. And one of them, I said, "Where is everybody?" And they said, "Oh, they didn't like it here. They decided to go away somewhere." I said, "Well, where did they go?" And they said, "I don't know." So I had to go to the production office and find out where everybody was. They were down on the Western Street, and they were shooting something else that wasn't even in the script. So every day you arrive, and you don't know what you're going to say that day. Everything is written on the set. It's all improvised. Many, many times we get there, and we don't get a shot before 4:30 in the afternoon. And then they wait until 7 or 8 at night when you have bags under your elbows to come in for the close-ups. It's just wild. I've never been involved in anything like it.
There's another curious parallel here. you did Valley of the Dolls. Sorry for mentioning it, but
Thank you. I accept your apology.
in amongst your excellent films, and you know, somewhere in between there, and but I'm sure. I think I know Patty well enough, and you know where she's at to. I think she'd agree with that. But now they're doing something, and that's also 20th century, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And now
They have a knack
they're
for that.
doing something
They have
else.
a suicide wish over there at that studio.
Well, a lot of studios do these days, but they're now planning a new Valley of the Dolls, which I'm sure you've heard about.
Yes.
Which sounds like I think it's beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Right?
It's beyond all comprehension.
It's a sexploitation.
It has
No, it isn't
nothing to
beyond
do with
comprehension
Valley
at
of the
all.
Dolls.
Make a bloody fortune.
Yeah.
And
See,
that's
that's the
exactly what
real.
they're going to do. They're not pouring any money into it. Russ Meyer's going to do it. And it's going to be a skin flick.
But that's the real tragic thing about
Christmas.
Hollywood right now, is that people are so willing to jump on the bandwagon and do whatever they can to make money. Even though the people who are making the films don't believe in them, they'll do anything to make a buck because the movie business is in such a weird position.
One of the things that makes it particularly interesting and weird, and maybe offers some hope, is that that the old formulas don't work anymore. The films this year that are making the money are not the pictures that they've done with the old formulas. It's
Yes,
the
but
unexpected things by independent producers.
Yes, but some of them are also very good, and
That's my point.
And I'm all for independent filmmaking. I think Patty just did a picture called Me, Natalie, which was which I thought was an absolutely remarkable film. I mean, I thought it was honest and dear and moving, and I thought she was also wonderful in it. I think she should be nominated for an Academy Award this
I
year.
agree. Well, what is indeed interesting is that while the old Hollywood and the old formula concepts are doing something that seems to be a death rattle, that motion picture making has never been more inventive, never more exciting because of the new producers.
Yes, but the new producers don't want to work for studios. I mean, when you get to a big studio and you find out that you have to spend all this fantastic money that's not in your budget just on studio rental space and on technicians you don't need and dialogue people that you don't need and all kinds of people that you don't need, then suddenly your movie is a $6 million movie and all you wanted to do is grab a movie, you know. So that's why the smart people are making movies independently and then they're releasing them through film companies. Myra Breckinridge doesn't fall into any kind of sane category that I can think of. It's not an independent movie. It's not even a studio movie because the director isn't even listening to anybody at the studio. He's making his own movie.
Which nobody's sure about. Oh, I've got to ask you what it's like to simply, you know, and apart to all the other curious things about the film, what it's like to be the alter ego of Raquel Welch. In other words, I assume that everybody knows that Rex plays Raquel in another form. So to speak.
I don't think we look a thing alike.
I'm not going to even ask how they managed to come up with the casting.
No, I tell you something. When they originally approached me with the idea of doing this thing, personally, I liked the book. I thought it was a very interesting book. I thought it made a very interesting comment on the sexual identity crisis and so forth. But it was great for reading. I didn't necessarily want to play it. You know, I mean, you can do. Otherwise, it's the Christine Jorgensen story. You know, right. So I wasn't about.
I understand they cast, didn't they? Weren't they not casting, but didn't they test some?
Oh, they were testing everybody from the drag queens to Anne Bancroft.
Now, just a second.
All right,
Ain't Annie Sullivan anymore.
She also ain't a
We're
drag
going to take a
queen.
little break for just
they
a minute.
They were trying everything, you know.
We're going to take a break for just a minute, and when we come back, I've got a little game that I'd like you to play.
Great.
No.
I don't get to explain.
Bill
I
from here.
saw Playboy.
Not that kind of game. Rex, I think you want to make an additional point about... Go ahead.
Well, first I want to say that I'm going to come back on this show often because it's the first show I've ever been on in my life where I can plug a book and get zonked all at the same time. No, I just want to say one thing because when we broke, I had just said that all the drag queens were tested for Myra Breckinridge and I got the part. I want to explain one thing. It's not a movie at all anymore about someone who has a sexual operation. It's a kind of Walter Mitty movie about a guy who dreams, you know, under anesthesia, he's in a car accident and he dreams that he's Raquel Welch. And that may be a cop-out, but that's the only way they got me in it. So Danny Kaye would have played it 20 years ago and won an Academy Award. What can I tell you?
So there is no actual sex transformation then in the film any longer?
No, it's just it's a fantasy. Now I ask you. Can you see them injecting
Well, I'm interested in
silicone?
getting... Patty has... You have some interesting parallels here with Rex. Rex coming from the other side of the film industry, from a critic to becoming an actor. Your background was in theater in New York.
Theater and live television.
And I wonder how it compares. We've been talking about Hollywood and its problems here. I wonder how you find working in films compared with television and theater.
Well, I find that it's impossible to make a comparison because the mediums are so completely different. I also find that I really do enjoy making films, sometimes more than the theater. It's a much more introspective kind of work than the theater. I have wanted recently to do a play, and the plays that I've read are all with... just realized where I was about to say this. Well, are all with ladies taking their clothes off, and I really...
There's a lot of that in theater.
I
and film.
really can't imagine myself going to a theater at 8 o'clock at night and being on the stage by 8:30 without any clothes on. I just cannot imagine running around in front of a whole audience.
But
I assume
Patty,
you've seen Old Calcutta.
No, I haven't.
in the movies, you have to do it at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Which really gets depressing. Right,
That's
true.
very good, Rex.
That's right.
No, I don't have to do it any time. Nobody ever asks me to take off my clothes. I wonder why.
That may be
Let's check
a
into
whole
that.
other subject.
I took mine off in Meyer Breckenridge once for a scene. They asked me to put them back on.
All right, now it's time to play the game. I'm not going to top this. All right, we've got a game called Recognition. And this game requires a certain amount of improvisation. And it's going to work a little bit like this. I think maybe we'll start with Patty. Somebody take Patty out of the room for just a minute, and then we'll let Rex play a scene with her. As soon as we get rid of her. Get her out. No, come on, a little further away. Okay, now who are we going to use for?
Well, that...
Yeah, she is.
What?
She's thinking he's a couple.
Yeah.
Barbie and Hef.
No. Another famous American love story.
Columbus. Columbus and Queen Isabella.
How about Ken and Barbie doll?
You want to try that?
Yeah, we can try that.
You'll have a cute time.
What is it?
Oh,
Ken and Barbie.
Ken and Barbie doll. The Ken and Barbie doll.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay?
Okay, that's good.
Okay. You're going to have a great time with that one. That's a nice switcher.
Why did I say that?
Okay, Patty, yeah, you're going to have a
a
great
single thing.
Who could?
I'm glad you suggested it. Patty? Come on in, dear.
I didn't like the way you were all laughing.
Right here. We've got a good one for you.
Oh, I bet you have. Oh, hi there.
Have we been formally introduced?
Is that a clue?
Oh, start now?
Start right now.
Hello there.
Yes, things were fine in the Arctic.
We do very well there, too.
I know you're a penguin, so stop doing that. Unless you like it.
How do you like my new clothes? They just came off the sewing machine.
His new clothes just came off the sewing machine.
A little after yours, but they made the same shipment. You're doing very well at Disneyland.
You're a penguin.
Are you going to die when you find out what it is?
Things are at Disneyland.
I hear we just bankrupted Mattel. I hope it's not a sponsor.
Doll.
And we...
Barbie doll. No.
Barbie, meet Ken. All right,
That was very good, Rex.
that was very good.
He's a doll.
Okay, Rex, why don't you split for a minute, and we'll let Louis play one with you. Yes,
Put the ear things on it.
What I said.
Okay, what are we gonna do for
Joe Namath. The Corsican brothers.
What I was with.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
it.
let's
That's
Joe
it.
name
Yeah.
it. And who? The Jet football player. Well, he can be anybody talking with him. In other words, you're simply talking to him as a fan or anybody that you want to be. Okay?
Who? I'm a fan.
Who's Joe? We'll have to give him a clue. Should we call him? Okay, Rex. Bring Rex on back.
Let's go.
That's hard to get too much done in that length of time. Here we go. Okay.
Boy, when you get out there and you start running around and they start chasing you, you are strong. A lot of,
Do you work for a newspaper?
no, not at all.
So it's not Clark Kent.
I think we have to
Remember, we're
move
trying to
down.
figure out who you are, Rex.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out who
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I thought I knew.
There's certain things, when you stand there and they start charging at you and you lean back and you start running and then people start falling down, America goes crazy. They start saying, what a guy. Oh. Women weep and send mail.
I'm sure they do, but...
Rex, try to play the part even though you don't know what the part is.
Oh. All right.
Getting closer already.
Well, it's, you know, it's very tough work, but
Doing-
the money is good. In fact,
Yeah, you're coming right along.
after tonight, it's going up.
Yeah, well, you've had a lot of success, and I want to congratulate you.
Do people? I'm doing this all the time, obviously.
Mhm.
Do I ever have time to rest? I mean,
I would say you rest in the most delightful manner.
Yes.
That's important.
and then sometimes, well, yes,
We describe it
I'm
as...
lying down a lot, right?
I imagine that's part of the bag.
Tell him how big he is on Sundays.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very big on Sundays.
Sundays all over the country, they put down the paper and they start looking.
I'm last.
There you are.
Now, is he also somebody? He's somebody who works.
Sometimes, but not necessarily.
Oh, you work with me sometimes, right?
Well, I can if you want it that way, buddy. We can both be out there. All right, let's say I do work with you. I'm your hero. I mean, you're my hero. Sometimes I give you little messages, what to do for that particular day. And when you pass me by with such affection. You're happy that I'm there.
And have I suddenly been? Well, I've written up an awful lot. Haven't I?
Oh yes, they're always writing about you.
And
Sometimes not so cute.
especially if Rex Reed is writing.
That's right.
In Esquire.
Well, he could have. I don't
You're
know.
not
I'm
Warren
not.
Beatty.
I'm not up on all of them.
But I tell you, the L.A. Rams have been after me, but I can't give up my bar.
There you go.
Ike and Tina Turner entertained us a little while ago at the party, and I I must say you are one of the most exciting groups, and I really mean this, that I've seen in a long time. I think all the kids feel that way.
Thank you.
How long have you been singing, Tina?
Well, professionally, I've been singing for 9 years.
How long has the group been together?
Well, 9 years. We've kept
Nine?
the
No,
same
that was the
group,
start.
not the same personnel, but the same amount of people for since 1960.
Well, it's really wild, and the way you work together is really wild.
Thank you.
Now, the word soul has become kind of a popular term related to the music scene today, but you've got a word of your own, grease.
Right.
And I'm not familiar with it. What,
Well, let's see. With me, see, with cooking, like when you boil your
well, I
vegetables.
understand grease with cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so we're gonna use cooking first. In order to boil your vegetables, you still must have the grease, right?
Right.
It starts from the cooking at home.
Right.
Okay, so I have a term of saying like, nothing was no good without the grease. So that's from there.
I do.
Now with another way of saying the grease is that most black people, when we say things, we say it top service. We don't cover it, or we don't go around. We say it like
Like it
exactly
really-
what it is. Like it's nothing like, say for instance, sweat. We
Just like
say
Ike was
sweat,
saying earlier,
right.
he said, you don't perspire, you sweat.
Right. So in other words, when you say grease, it means getting down to the nitty-gritty, the actual thing, not hinting, just saying
Saying
exactly
it like
what.
it is.
So in
well,
other words,
I would love it if, and I know that the kids would, if you would once again do it like it really is.
Right.
Would you do another number?
Here come old flat top, he comes grooving up slowly. He's got choo-choo, I
idea. So let's do just that again next week. Good night.
Good night.
TWA, who now fly around the world via the Atlantic or Pacific from 40 U.S. cities. Take your choice, the USA, Europe, Africa, or Asia. TWA serves them all.